All right, Willie P. I see your beautiful face. So why don't you kick us off?
What's going on, DJ? How are you, pal?
What's up, man? How you doing?
So Christian's deployed two different midfield styles this season. He's had the double pivot, and they've had you as a deep six also. Which of these styles do you prefer? What might think? How can you showcase your style of play with each of them?
Well, honestly, I don't mind both, to be honest. As long as I'm somewhere in the middle, it's just fine with me. Whatever tactics we put on the field works for me as long as I'm in the middle.
In terms of your own game, how much have you worked on being more vocal? I know it's something we've noticed from up in the booth. How much have you worked on that part of your game?
Well, with me, I don't really talk a lot. I'm like the laid back kind of guy. So that's something I've really been working on. And then coach been talking to me about it, just be vocal and talk to the guys more on the field. Since everything is in front of me, I can see everything. He wants me to talk a lot. So I've been working on it.
And lastly, for me, in terms of the physicality of the Red Bulls game, one of the things that Christian said was, we're not going to be bullied. How much of that comes upon your shoulders, making sure that you know that you can step up to a team like New York that plays a physical nature, and it's going to be kind of the order of a lot of teams that you guys play over the course of this long season.
Yeah, especially with New York, that's just their game, like get on top of you, fight. And, we've been doing it so far, and especially playing at home, we're not going to let anybody come in here and just walk all over us, get bullied or nothing. No, we're going to bully them back even more. And that's what we showed this past weekend.
All right, thanks, Will. Just a reminder for anyone that's new in here, Nate and Kendra, welcome in. If you just use the raise your hand feature, if you guys want to jump in with any questions, you're welcome to. We'll go to Caleb next.
Hey Derrick, how you doing?
Oh man, how you doing?
Doing good. Good to see you. We know that you and Harrison Awful got a good relationship. He captained the side this past weekend. Just wanted you to give some insight into who Harry is.
Well, first of all, I think even from you guys to see from far, Harry's a great guy, even up the field, and very good leader on the field. He's helped me a lot since I came here. So, I don't even have to say much. I'm sure everybody sees it, the kind of person he is. He's a tough guy.
And just one more. Heading into Toronto, this is a team that you guys lost twice, both times last season. Is there any kind of sort of I don't know how to say it, but basically how are you guys preparing for this, and is it any different?
Well, no, it's just like every other game, we either we playing home or away, we just fight, fight for each other and hopefully get the results that we want.
Great. Appreciate it, man. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Excellent. Let's go to Mike.
Good afternoon, Derrick. How are you doing?
Hey, Mike, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. 0-3 start, then a win, get a draw last week. Have you guys maybe hit on something that you're starting to see some positive results in terms of the table?
Yeah, what we're doing here, we knew it would take time, and for sure, I know we're on the right track. Obviously we didn't start well, but I think these past couple of games has been, good, has been going a good direction. So I think it's going to keep getting good.
Can you quantify it, or like you say, it was going to take time? Does it feel like those things are, the gears are starting to mesh together and everything is starting to look a little better?
Yeah, I think everything is coming together, in places. It's starting in training. We know what we're doing and we know what we want. So we're just gonna play our game.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Mike. I think Willie P's got another one, so we'll go back to him.
Just kind of going back to playing on the road, Derrick. Obviously, the road was not kind to Charlotte last year with just 3 wins, but your last road effort against Orlando, it seemed like you played some of your most forceful football as a side this season. Christian has said that sometimes maybe there's a little bit too much pressure put on playing at home. How much have you guys worked to try and fix that road woe from last year? And do you feel less pressure on the road?
Well, we came into this season, you know, we know what we want going on the road, trying to get as much as points that we can get, because we know when we come back home with the fans behind our back, you know, it's more, we're comfortable, you know. I think what we are more focused on, based on traveling and stuff, is just get as much as points on the road as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. All good, Nate. We'll come to you now, Nate. Go ahead and ask a few.
Hey, Derrick, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I know you've you've been around the league a little bit before coming to Charlotte, and for those of us that haven't been there, I'm curious if you could describe what the atmosphere is like. And we see the pictures of the big stadium, big crowds, all of that. Can you describe for those of us that haven't been there what the atmosphere is like in Charlotte these days?
Oh man, this is just crazy, you know. Probably the best fan base I've seen. You know, the fans show up every game, no matter the results, you know, always behind our back. And I think that's the best I've seen so far.
That's saying something too, right? I mean, we're seeing more and more of this around the league. Was it a surprise to you when you got there, or
Yeah, it was a surprise to me. Like, I think last year my first game was at home, and I came out the locker room and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, the fans, we need the fans, you know, and like I said, no matter the results, they're always there. You know, we appreciate them so much.
and you're going to a place obviously that's known for having a great atmosphere in Toronto as well. As a visiting player, do you prefer that? You know, even if it's a hostile environment, to go to a place that's packed and loud like Toronto, as opposed to going to a place that might be empty?
Yeah, you know, like I said, we're used to it. You know, we get the same fans or even more here. So going to Toronto is basically the same thing, just that we're playing away from home. But with the atmosphere and the fans, I think the guys are used to it. We are used to it.
My last question for you, Derrick, to go back to what Will was asking about a little bit, the physicality of that game against the Red Bulls last time. I remember watching you in Houston in particular. I was on a game where you used some of that physicality to set up a big goal against Sporting Kansas City a couple years ago. Is that one of the most important parts of your game? How would you describe that component of the way you play?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important part of my game, and I try to use it a lot, because it helped me sometimes, you know, get out of tackles and win balls. So I know with that side, I can bring a lot to the team. So that's something that, you know, I really like.
Hey, thanks a lot, Derrick.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Nate. Kendra, go ahead.
Hey, sorry about that. I've not seen the raise hand thing on mine either. So, Derrick, I just wanted to ask a quick question.
Yeah.
Christian talked a lot in his post-game press conference and his availability after the Red Bull game about you guys showing the fight and having maybe not shown as much of it in the first couple games, but then at Orlando, and then your last match at home against the Red Bulls. But he said that starts on the training ground. You know, this is a mindset, a mentality for you guys, not just about the physicality and the bullying, but just the mindset of this cohesiveness and the body language, having each other's backs. Do you see that continuing to develop, and how do you establish that?
Yes, I see that continuing, because it's like you said, it started training. Even at training, you know, we all fight. So the stuff that we do in training, I think when we bring it to the field, it'd be more easier, especially playing against different team, not ourselves. You know, if we can do it to ourselves, we can do it to anybody that we play against. So I think that's something we're going to keep on doing.
What do you see as the biggest challenge in this Toronto side? I know it's early in the week. We're only Tuesday here, but when you look ahead to Toronto, what do you see as the biggest challenge, especially for you in your position against this Toronto team?
Well, Toronto got a good team, first of all. They have good players, good midfielders. I think the only challenge for us is obviously playing away from home. You know, they have the home crowd and, you know, they play on the home turf. So we're just going to go there, impose our game and just fight, you know, fight like we've been doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Derrick.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks, Kendra. All right, so we will end it there. Appreciate everyone's time. DJ, appreciate your time as well. And we will have head coach Christian Lattanzio on Thursday, and we'll update on that time. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, guys.